As financial markets plummet from the future impact of the president's just announced trade tariffs, the White House is playing down Wall Street's reaction. Before his departure for a long weekend in South Florida, President Trump said he remains confident that his massive tariffs on America's trading partners would lead to a stronger U.S. economy.
The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal?
President Trump is calling it Liberation Day, but financial markets and many of America's trading partners are not happy about the president's decision to impose across-the-board 10% tariffs on all foreign goods, starting on April 5th. The president also imposed higher reciprocal tariffs on about 60 countries that the White House is calling the worst offenders in terms of tariff policy.
Mr. President, Congress is still debating over the next round of stimulus payments. If they don't act, do you plan to step in?
Well, I'm going to have to, because we have to take care of our people. And the problem we have is that they're looking, the Democrats, to take care of states that have been poorly run. And they want to do bailout money, and it has nothing to do with Corona. It has to do with something much different, and that's years of neglect and not good management. And we don't want to do that.
How important is New Hampshire to your candidacy moving forward? And is there a path to the presidency if you fall short tomorrow?
Yes, there is a path to the presidency. It's called South Carolina, and it's called Nevada, and it's called the general election. If you notice, nobody who's ever lost has also continued to lead in the national polls across the board.
If you look at the map of the United States, there are cases all over the place, each of which is a little bit of an ember that can turn into a fire. That's what you have to worry about.
But I'll always be proud of the record of the Trump-Pence administration. But I know that by God's grace, I did my duty on that fateful day.
Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, was asked specifically about Giuliani's role, and here's what he said.
As a Secretary of State, we have lots of people out advocating, doing work on behalf of the United States of America, not all of which work for the Department of State directly, that aren't on our payroll. Private citizens often will make phone calls to me saying, hey, I just saw X. You might want to think about Y. I had a dinner just last night with some senior business leaders, private citizens, who are deeply engaged in the country that we're engaged with, and they gave me great insights of what is taking place.
May I ask you about economic forecasts? I saw one economic forecast coming out from the OECD this past week. They are forecasting stagflation for the United States, a downtick in terms of GDP growth. Do you agree with that forecast? What do you see over the course of 2025 for our country?
We inherited a very, very bad and perilous situation from a group of people. Again, we just got here from a group, and this takes a long time to develop, from a group of people that truly didn't know what they were doing.
Mr. President, with this announcement on Hyundai, is this a blueprint for you for other automakers to come to the United States to do what Hyundai is doing and investing so much in Louisiana and creating these new jobs?
Absolutely. That's a nice question from you. That's a shocking question, how nice it is, huh? That's okay. That's a question that's a good question, actually. Yeah, sure. Hyundai's a great company. We have other great companies coming in, and we have some that are going to be staying here and very much expanding. And we have tremendous interest in every business. I can't just say automobiles, but automobiles is a big one. And yeah, this is the beginning of a lot of things happening.
Mark Manning pushes his father-in-law, Frank Shakespeare, along the grounds of the memorial erected in his honor. A Wisconsin hero, Shakespeare fought in the Navy during World War II. He went on to serve as U.S. ambassador to Portugal and the Vatican. Frank now struggles with dementia, but takes in the sights on a dreary D.C. day.
Not impeachable, but was it perfect or inappropriate, as some in your party have concluded?
Well, we had that debate for 3 weeks, and different senators reached different conclusions about the appropriate remedy if they perceived that it was improper.
Yeah, Ben and Julie, Congressman Charlie Crist tells me that his experience and his electability make him the Democrats' best shot to oust Governor Ron DeSantis.
Donald Trump added 2 more to his national security team, naming his picks for Secretary of State and Director of National Intelligence.
We take you to the U.S. Capitol, where between votes, we caught up with Democrat Majority Leader Steny Hoyer.
The president clearly wants everybody to sing his tune. And the problem he has is Some people are worried about that may be perjury, so they're not singing that tune.
I've got a lot of questions about both her public comments in terms of being willing to agree with people who've leaked classified information, and obviously some of her visits to Russia and Syria.